Breaking news: Thailand has abruptly halted all fuel shipments to Cambodia, sending shockwaves through the region and raising fears of a broader crisis. The move comes at a critical moment, as tensions between the two Southeast Asian neighbors have been steadily mounting over the past several weeks. The situation at the border has grown increasingly volatile, with heavily armed soldiers patrolling checkpoints and both sides reinforcing their positions. The fuel embargo is the latest escalation in a standoff that has already seen several confrontations and a growing sense of unease among local residents. The ban, announced in an emergency statement today, immediately cuts off a vital supply line for Cambodia's military operations and its struggling economy. Fuel shortages are expected to hit hard, affecting not only military vehicles but also public transportation, agriculture, and daily life for millions of Cambodians. This drastic measure follows a series of violent border clashes in recent days. Thai officials have cited national security concerns, claiming that fuel supplies were being diverted to support hostile activities along the border. The government insists the move is necessary to protect its citizens and territory. Effective immediately, all overland and sea shipments of petroleum and other strategic materials are blocked. The goal, according to Thai authorities, is to cripple Cambodia's military mobility and force a return to the negotiating table. The Thai government is under intense pressure, both domestically and internationally, to resolve the crisis. Officials hope the blockade will compel Cambodia to negotiate, but there are growing fears that the situation could spiral out of control and lead to a wider conflict in the region. In Cambodia, panic buying has erupted at gas stations, with long lines and rising prices causing anxiety among the population. Meanwhile, many Thai citizens have rallied behind their government's tough stance, viewing it as a necessary step to ensure national security. The crisis has put ASEAN, the Association of Southeast Asian Nations, to the test. Regional leaders are scrambling to mediate and prevent the dispute from destabilizing the entire region. Emergency meetings are underway, but a breakthrough remains elusive. As the world watches closely, the question remains: can diplomacy prevail and prevent a dangerous escalation, or is Southeast Asia on the brink of a much larger conflict? The coming days will be critical for peace and stability in the region. Thailand's strategy to exert pressure on its neighbors is most visible at the Chiang Mai checkpoint, a once bustling gateway that now stands completely sealed off. The imposing presence of Thai soldiers in full combat gear at the border gate sends a clear message. The situation is serious, and the border is closed to all but the most essential traffic. This key crossing, which once saw hundreds of fuel tankers pass through every single day, was a vital artery for the region. These trucks supplied much-needed fuel to Laos, and, according to some reports, even to Cambodia through unofficial channels. The checkpoint was a lifeline for local economies, supporting countless jobs and businesses on both sides of the border. Now, with the sudden and total closure, dozens of trucks and their drivers are stranded in limbo. The once busy trade hub has been transformed almost overnight into a tense, silent dead zone. Frustration and uncertainty hang in the air, as drivers wait for news and hope for a resolution that seems increasingly distant. Thai military and police forces are now stationed at every entry point, meticulously inspecting cargo and blocking all shipments of prohibited goods. Their enforcement of the ban is precise and uncompromising, leaving no room for negotiation or exceptions. For business owners and truck drivers, the economic impact is devastating. Many face the prospect of financial ruin, caught in the crossfire of a geopolitical standoff that is far beyond their control. Their livelihoods, built over years, are now at risk as the blockade drags on. The blockade at Chiang Mai is Thailand's main pressure point in this escalating dispute. By cutting off a crucial supply route, Thai authorities hope to force Cambodia's hand and bring them to the negotiating table. The move is bold, but it comes with significant risks. The closure doesn't just affect Cambodia and Laos, it also disrupts trade for Thai businesses. Market stalls stand empty, and local shop owners watch helplessly as their customer base disappears. The economic pain is felt in all sides of the road. The deserted roads leading to the Chiang Mai checkpoint are a stark and haunting symbol of the current crisis. Where there was once constant movement and commerce, there is now only silence and uncertainty. As the standoff deepens, the entire region holds its breath, waiting to see what will happen next. The future remains uncertain, and the stakes could not be higher for everyone involved. Thailand claims much of the fuel sent to Laos was secretly diverted to Cambodia's military. Intelligence reports suggest a smuggling network rerouted supplies south, fueling recent clashes. The blockade targets this alleged supply chain, not Laos itself. Laos, dependent on its neighbors, is now caught between two feuding countries. Thai diplomats insist the move is temporary and not hostile to Laos, but Laos citizens face shortages and rising prices. The crisis exposes the vulnerability of landlocked nations reliant on foreign trade routes. Laos must now balance diplomacy with both neighbors while managing the fallout at home. Thailand has extended its blockade to the sea, deploying its navy to cut off maritime fuel shipments to Cambodia. Warships now patrol the Gulf of Thailand, declaring a high-risk zone and warning vessels to stay clear. The naval cordon isolates Cambodia's main port, threatening its import-export economy. Shipping companies are rerouting, and insurance costs are soaring. The blockade marks a major escalation, raising the risk of direct confrontation at sea. Thailand's show of force is meant to pressure Cambodia, but the risk of miscalculation is high. The world watches the Gulf, hoping the standoff doesn't spark open conflict. As tensions rise, Thailand is working to reassure Laos and the region. Prime Minister Srettha Thavisin apologized to Laos, stressing the blockade targets Cambodia, not Vientiane. ASEAN leaders, including Malaysia's Prime Minister, are urging restraint and dialogue. Thailand insists its actions are defensive and calls on Cambodia to negotiate. Diplomatic efforts aim to prevent the crisis from spiraling and to keep ASEAN unity intact. The region's leaders know that escalation would threaten stability and prosperity for all. The coming days will test whether diplomacy can prevail over confrontation. The United States has voiced deep concern over the escalating crisis between Thailand and Cambodia, closely monitoring the situation as tensions rise along the disputed border. American officials have emphasized the importance of stability in Southeast Asia, recognizing that unrest in this region could have far-reaching consequences for both local populations and international interests. The State Department has publicly urged all parties to exercise maximum restraint, calling for an immediate cessation of hostilities and a transparent, impartial investigation into the recent border clashes. U.S. diplomats stress that only through open communication and a commitment to truth can the underlying issues be addressed and future violence prevented. As a treaty ally of Thailand, the United States has long-standing security commitments in the region. Yet, as a partner to Cambodia as well, Washington is careful to avoid taking sides, instead, pushing for constructive dialogue and peaceful negotiation. American officials have offered to facilitate talks if requested, underscoring their desire for a diplomatic solution. Washington's involvement brings significant international attention and adds pressure on both governments to seek a peaceful resolution. The U.S. presence signals to the world that the crisis is not just a regional issue, but one with global implications for peace and security. However, conflicting reports from the border make independent verification of events extremely difficult. This lack of clarity complicates mediation efforts, as both sides present differing accounts of the clashes, and the true sequence of events remains uncertain. The U.S. call for clarity and accountability is echoed by other global powers, including the United Nations and the European Union, who have also urged restraint and transparency. International organizations are now closely watching, ready to support peace initiatives and monitor developments. The world's reaction to the crisis may ultimately shape its outcome. Strong international pressure could encourage both sides to step back from confrontation, while a lack of unified response risks further escalation and instability in the region. For now, the world watches and hopes that Southeast Asia can step back from the brink, choosing dialogue and diplomacy over conflict, and paving the way for a more stable and peaceful future for all. The fuel blockade's human cost is immediate and severe. In Cambodia, fuel shortages are crippling daily life, from transport to farming. Thai and Lao border communities face economic hardship as trade grinds to a halt. The blockade aims to force Cambodia to negotiate, but risks deepening resentment and prolonging the conflict. Sanctions can unite a nation against outside pressure, making peace harder to achieve. The crisis is a stark reminder of how quickly disputes can spiral out of control. Only genuine diplomacy can restore stability and protect millions of lives. The future of Southeast Asia depends on leaders choosing dialogue over war.